Hey guys, for this weekend we'll be checking out Packwood, Washington, which is located approximately 2.5 hours away from Seattle. So Packwood is a charming small town located just at the foot of Mount Rainier and offers an abundance of outdoor activities and natural beauty. We mainly want to get away from the big city just for a few days and do some outdoor activities. If you take a look at the visitor map, you can see how many hikes the area of Packwood actually has to offer. So if you're still unsure of what you can do in the area, go ahead and just make sure to check out the visitor center and talk to the local guide and see what type of activities or local events they may be having. We stayed at Packwood Lodge, which is about 2 to 3 miles away from the town. The main reason why I chose this particular location is the fact that they have free electric vehicle charging. So if you do have, let's say, a Tesla, a Prius, or any type of electrical vehicle, will probably be the place you'll want to stay at. The first hike we did when we arrived at Packwood was Glacier Lake. We particularly chose this hike because it was the shortest one on the list. Most of the hikes in Packwood can be fairly long, and since we arrived pretty late, we still want to get some hiking in. The hike is rated as moderate with a distance of about 4 miles round trip and with an elevation gain of about 800 feet. So despite being only a 2-mile hike to the lake, there are some steep ascents and descents that you'll have to traverse through. And so for most of the hikes here, you will need to have your Northwest Forest Pass. Alright guys, so we finally made it to Glacier Lake, and honestly it took us only about an hour. And one of the reasons why we ended up choosing this particular location was due to the fact that we wanted a short hike, because when we got to Packwood, it was already about 3 o'clock, 3:30, and we didn't really have much time left to do, let's say, like a 7-mile or 8-mile hike. We'll kind of save that for tomorrow. But here we are, Glacier Lake, not too bad. The one nice thing about this hike is the fact that it was very secluded. Like, me and my girlfriend are pretty much the only ones here. So when we were driving up towards the trailhead, our cars were literally the only one there. So if you're not afraid to do some secluded hike where you know you're gonna be by yourself, this is probably a very good hike for you, because when we were doing this trail, it was really nice. You just walk in and you just hear the sound of birds chirping in the wind. We got the wind blowing, we got the river sound just flowing through, and it was just really, really nice. So we're just gonna spend a few more minutes just hanging out here and make our way back towards the car. And so remember, Packwood is a pretty small town, so your dinner options are gonna be pretty limited. We ended up checking out a place called the Blue Spruce Saloon to get your standard American fare. The one cool thing about this is that they had that small town vibe that makes it seem like everyone just kind of knows each other. So for our next day's hike, we chose the popular Packwood Lake Trail. This is a scenic and fairly easy hike in the sense that the elevation gain is pretty minimal, but the distance to the lake is about 4.5 miles. Again, you will need your Northwest Forest Pack in order to park here. One thing you're going to notice is that there's a sign here that says that you're going to need something about a wilderness pass. Don't worry about that if you're planning on just heading to the lake, but if you do plan on venturing out further, then you will need to purchase this pass. Hey guys, so we finally made it to the Packwood Lake Trail, and honestly, one of the more beautiful hikes that I've seen in a long time. Took us about 2 hours to get here. We started about 11:45 a.m. and got here at about 1:50, so give or take, depending on your general skill level, 2 to 2.5 hours to get to the main trailhead. I do want to say is at some point at about mile 2, you're going to start hitting some snowpack, so it gets a little bit, I don't want to say treacherous or dangerous, but it does get a little bit more challenging just due to the fact that you're traversing through snow. You don't necessarily need micro spikes if you guys don't have it, but a good pair of hiking shoes is good enough. Overall, I would say that a good weekend at Packwood was very simple. Just kind of want to get away from the city. There's a lot of hiking trails that you can do around here, so depending on how much time you guys have at Packwood, pick a nice hike. But I would highly recommend choosing the Packwood Lake Trailhead. So again, fairly easy, a little bit long, in terms of distance, but otherwise doable for pretty much anyone to do. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.